We're worried about why they chose to give Barbie and I the wine to do, but we'll figure it out. So, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
Help yourself.
In a second. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
First of all, we want to thank all of you for coming to be a part of this wonderful celebration of the wedding of Taryn and Tony. We realize many of you have come from long distances and are so happy for you to experience the joy that Taryn and Tony have found in each other. We want to also welcome the Granados family in joining the Multac clan. We love getting to know you and your family and are so excited that your son and our daughter have brought us all together. We look forward to many happy family gatherings when we can all be together and share celebrations and making memories. Taryn, from the time you were born, I knew there was something very special about this beautiful baby with those lovely curls and big blue-green eyes. I couldn't have asked for a better gift than to have you for my first and only daughter. As time went on, it was a joy to watch you mature into a beautiful, vibrant, thoughtful, caring, and creative young woman. You are self-assured, determined, and strive for whatever you want to achieve. After you graduated from college, it was extremely bittersweet for me when you left for New York. However, I knew in my heart that it was where you needed to be to succeed in your newfound profession. For the past 10 years, your life in New York has been happy and exciting, making new friends and catching up with old ones. But as time went on, I sensed something was missing from your life. From the time you and Tony met, I could tell in your voice that something was different, that this could be the one, that maybe this missing something, or more importantly, someone, had arrived. And yes, he had. The two of you complement each other so well. And as we all know, Tony can always make you laugh. He is a gentleman and has a kind and loving heart. We know he will be a wonderful husband who is your best friend. That's what parents want for their children. And we are so thrilled that you are now starting on your life together. We love you both. So may I ask everyone in the room to raise their glass to toast this wonderful couple. May your life together be long and happy. Cheers.
Wow.
Okay.
Now, Ellen and I did not collaborate, and we have much of the same things to say about Tony and Taryn, because that's the kind of impression they made on us. It's a great evening to celebrate Tony and Taryn's wedding with family and friends. Tonight could not have been possible without the hard work, collaboration of Ellen, Lori, and of course Taryn, and the Granados, and Tony, and the Granados, John and Elaine. Ellen, almost everything from invitation design, floral arrangements, and the finer details were inspired by Taryn's creative touch. I have an encyclopedia worth of fond memories of Taryn, and ones that I hope she holds near and dear to her heart. One of my treasured moments was when Taryn was a baby and went into one of those uncontrollable crying fits that infants occasionally have. I would relieve Ellen, take Taryn in my arms, lay on the bed, cradle her in the small of my arm, and stroke her cheek and rubbed her back until she slept. It was during those moments that she relaxed me too. and my mind began to wander about my precious daughter. My nose is running, I'm not crying. I may, it's okay. As a young parent, my thoughts drifted to how this special baby would evolve from an infant through adulthood. I wondered if she would be playful, if she would be smart, if she would be talented. I wondered if she would have a big heart or cry at sad movies. I wondered how she would live her life, and yes, I even wondered what her special wedding day would be like. The questions went on and on. Never once did I think about Miss Ladyfinger. Little did I know in those magic moments that Taryn and I would go on to share and enjoy life's simple pleasures like an ice cream sundae at Oinks, find her happy place boating with me on Lake Michigan, or as an adult, still get comfort holding her daddy's hand. It was these kinds of moments that forged that special bond of love and it was these kind of moments that forged the special bond, love, and relationship that Taryn and I share to this day. As years passed, my wonder turned to amazement, pride, and gratification. I was the parent of a truly exceptional young lady, an extraordinary woman. You see, Taryn is self-made. Certainly, Ellen and I played a role in her development and environment, but it is Taryn who took life by the horns and is making her mark. Yet we never doubted Taryn's drive, organization, integrity, choice of friends, and yes, finally, a life partner. 1 second.
Thank you.
2 years ago, after 1 or 2 dates, the talk of Tony started. I could tell there was something special by the gleam in Taryn's eye, her reservation about jumping too far ahead. The obvious was written all over her face, and the way she glowed when telling me about what little there was to their budding relationship. Could this be the future Mr. Ladyfinger? A few months later, Lori, Zach, Jordan, Mina, and I met Tony when he joined us for a winter break in Puerto Vallarta. Here was this kind, good-looking, smart, and fit young man throwing himself into the midst of strangers. That certainly says a lot about Tony. He fit in as if we had known him for years. I knew the die was cast when Tony made one of his many funny and witty remarks. All of us could not stop laughing. Taryn was beyond hysterical. I knew then that I wanted Tony. Over time, Tony and I have had a few good chats about Taryn. He opened up about his deep love for her, what he likes best about her, and why he wants to make a life together. Tony wore his feelings on his sleeves during those conversations, and that is all it took for me. I told him the great joy I was having seeing my daughter so happy, giddy with love, admiration, and hope for the future. After those chats, I knew Tony was the one for Taryn and our whole family. I gave him some words of advice along the way. Whenever you're wrong, admit it. Whenever you're right, shut up. Fast forward to where we are today, celebrating the union of these two remarkable young people. Ellen, Lori, and I have enjoyed time shared with the Granados family. They are warm and genuine and really a fun family to be with, and they will dance till we have to close the house down, I can assure you that. We look forward to many more joyful moments together and celebrations. This amazing couple is on the threshold of making a new life together, creating a family with the core values strong in the Granados, Multac, and Polk traditions. So I propose a toast to each of you, but please wait till I finish. Tony, I ask when Taryn is having a bad day, crying, down in the dumps, or just needing a hug, you invite her into the small of your arm, right here, stroke her cheek, rub her back, As she relaxes and melts into your arms, my toast is that your life together be as tender and sweet as that moment. And Taryn, remember the saying that coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. May all your dreams come true, as my dreams for you certainly have. So where's that glass? Here we go. For Taryn and Tony, we toast to an amazing life together for two extraordinary people, for a life of fulfillment, good health, and happy times together. L'chaim.
Sorry. Unfortunately, you have to listen to me before you get to him. All right, here we go. First and foremost, I would like to take a moment to thank Ellen, David, and Lori for putting together this beautiful evening. What a magical night this is. I also want to thank the Granados family for such a beautiful and magnificent love-filled rehearsal dinner. And can we give it up for this band? Wow. I knew with this Multac and Granados crew, we were gonna have ourselves a party. I am so honored and grateful to be here today sharing this happy occasion with all of you. When I was lucky enough to meet Taryn at Syracuse University, go Orange, all those years ago, I was struggling with a small case of homesickness. And by a small case, what I really mean is full-on, debilitating homesickness. I wasn't the best at leaving home, and honestly, this lasted all the way through junior year, when Taryn had to save me again while studying abroad in London, but I'll save you all those details. When Taryn and I finally crossed paths, we had both started pledging our sorority, and speed dating to make friends was part of the deal. On this particular Saturday, a large group of ladies decided that dinner and sake bombs would be the perfect evening out. We picked the one and only Tokyo Soul, which was definitely a fan favorite with most Syracuse girls. And after one too many sake bombs, I leaned over my plate and I managed to dip a significant amount of my hair into the teriyaki sauce. I was feeling quite devastated about my situation. And while the rest of our friends were discussing which bar to start at and which frat to end at, Taryn turned to me and said the 5 best words I had ever heard. Let's go to my dorm. She proceeded to wash my hair in her dorm room sink, and I got a glimpse into the crazy and charming life of Taryn Multac. I can't tell you what bar we went to or what frat we ended at, but I knew at that very moment that Taryn would leave a big imprint on my life. Taryn and I then took our love story to the big city. We decided to be different and move somewhere truly unique, somewhere 2 Jewish girls maybe had never been before. A little place called Murray Hill. We quickly realized we were not alone, and we headed to Union Square, where we could take the city by storm. When T and I began our NYC days, she definitely helped me learn how to be more responsible and domestic. Jamie, make sure you thank her. Taryn made all our dinners, and I, of course, did all the cleaning. She paid all our bills, and I, of course, did most of the spending. And she reminded me constantly that I was going to soul cycle a little too much on a teacher's salary. But I have to say that I definitely supported Miss Ladyfinger by allowing all that nail polish to live all over the apartment. Taryn and I ended up living together for around 7 years. We became roommates that lived together so long, we could have filed for a common law marriage. And while we thought that might be our fate for a while, and I won't lie, it would have been a beautiful partnership, things did eventually turn around for us. T, Our roommate dates are some of the best memories, and I am so thankful that you picked me all those years ago. Tony, one of the first things I noticed about you was your dedication and passion. Now, I'm sure that all of you know that Tony is a huge Penn State fan. Well, when Taryn was finally ready for Jamie and I to meet her main squeeze, she picked a Saturday night during a big whiteout game. I was shocked that Tony had agreed, but I'm sure he did not have much of a choice. Tony made a huge effort to get to know us, asking tons of questions and really making the night fun and entertaining. He might have checked his phone a few times for score updates, but we didn't blame him. He was all in on Taryn, the same way he is all in on Penn State. And I knew in that moment he was going to make Taryn the happiest lady finger in the world. Tony, there is nothing better than seeing the person that I love be so loved and adored. Now, just for the record, Penn State did not win. Sorry, guys. But I do have to say, Tony, you definitely did. It has been so exciting seeing your relationship grow over the years, from traveling the world to making your first home together on the Upper East Side. And while I'm not ready to discuss this move to Chicago, I know you will continue to build a strong foundation that will allow you to continue to grow. You share a love for good food, raw bar included, and great drinks. Your love for fostering pups is both inspiring and heartwarming. You two are also motivated and driven in your careers, rising the ranks and making names for yourselves. You two have truly found the best versions of yourself in each other. TNT, I am confident that I can speak for everyone in this room when I say that you are two of the most loving, genuine, and caring people. The love and affection you have for each other is inspiring. So let's all raise a glass to this gorgeous couple. May you two continue to fall deeper in love, and may he always be your lobster. I love you two very much, and I cannot wait to see many more chapters of your love story unfold. I love you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Please give it up for Sam. Thank you. I'm gonna move around. I'm gonna explore the room. Hello, everyone. My name is Mike Dupree. I have the distinct honor to be the best man this evening. I'm Tony's brother-in-law, which means I married his sister, Alicia. I was fortunate enough to do that a few years ago. And I think it's always nice to start with a little bit of gratitude. So first, I would love everybody to join me in thanking David, Ellen, Lori, John, Elaine for everything that you've put on this whole weekend, tonight. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Last night's event was also terrific for those who were there. I'm also grateful that I fit in my tuxedo after all that pizza. So thank you for filling our cups, our wine glasses, our bellies. It was an unbelievable evening as well. I'd also like to actually thank Tony and Taryn as I stand here before you without a toddler clinging to my leg, searching for the nearest purveyor of chicken nuggets. I love my children very much. I'm really happy that they're not here right now. I think other parents can probably join me in saying, we love them, but thank you. This is gonna be a great night. Thank you very much. So Tony, I met you like 20 years ago, which is insane to think about. It was San Francisco. I just met Alicia. Your family was traveling, happened to be just going through the West Coast on a trip, and you stopped through San Francisco, where I'm from. And I ventured out, and I wanted to meet the family and try to win affection and approval. And it was a tall task. Within 10 minutes of meeting everybody, we were on our way to our first tour stop, which is Alcatraz, which is a little bit intimidating. So my objective quickly changed to just not being left on the island by Dr. Granados. And luckily, I was allowed off, and I just wanted to get to know the brothers. That was really what I wanted, because I didn't grow up with any. And so little Nikki Granados, really all I had to do was talk about WWE wrestling and buy him a root beer. We were good for life. Matt G, who was probably like, what, 12? He had like frosty tips, blonde hair. I think he was so stoked to be in California. I don't even think he remembers me being there. But you at the tender age of 14, actually were the one I knew I had to win the approval of. You were always ahead of your time. You had this like instinctual protective mechanism for your sister. And I just knew that you were the guy. And some things from then carry through to now, like you are always wise beyond your years, but at a moment's notice, you can act like a 5-year-old. Wait, do it again. I've always wanted to do that, sorry. Thank you for humoring me. And luckily it worked out that day. It's worked out ever since. 20 years later, we've had a lot of moments. I've been fortunate enough to visit you and your buddies at Penn State. We are? Apparently they're winning the game against Michigan. You came to visit Alicia and I in San Diego on spring break. We've had summers at Leap and Eagle U, doing our thing there. And a lot of recent conversations, career contemplations, career counseling, and it's been an amazing thing to experience with you. And I'm just so proud of like everything that you've become. Your on-paper accomplishments are longer than like a CVS receipt. But what really strikes me and what I'm more proud of is everything you are off paper. You're a family man. I'm gonna come over here. You're a family man. I mean, I'm talking to you, man. You just surround yourself with really good people. Your moral compass is always pointed in the right direction. When not being a smartass, you're actually pretty funny. And I know you're gonna be a really good dad because you already have the jokes in the bag. You've been practicing for 15 years. You just like, you are everything, and Alicia talked about this last night, like you are what we want our boys to grow up to be, all right? And I wanna tell you something that kind of like struck me recently, and I'm most proud of probably the fact that over the last few years, through your own life experiences, some good, some not so good, you've been able to connect with yourself on an emotional level that's deeper than it's ever been. You've always been guarded, and that guard's been let down for whatever reason, and I feel that that's been one of the most important developments of your life. I think it's allowed you to connect with the people around you and express yourself in a way that you haven't been able to do before. I think it's allowed you to say I love you to the people that you care about, and I believe that it's ultimately what landed you Taryn. I think if those things didn't happen and you didn't find yourself in that way, this would not have happened. So I'm really proud of you for being able to do that, let your guard down, connect with those around you, and clearly you did a pretty good job in the end. So I'm done with you. Okay. Okay. So Taryn said this today earlier, but you said that you knew Tony was the guy on your first date, which kind of doesn't surprise me all that much because Tony's like he's pretty good at making a first impression. What surprised me is that you still felt that way after the 5th date. What surprised me even more is that you felt that way after playing categories with the guy, because it is impossible to engage in any sort of competitive anything with this kid. So that's usually the breaking point for all of us, even in the family. Congratulations for making it past that threshold, which brings us here tonight. You were thrown into the gauntlet pretty quickly. We had dinner in the city with the siblings, Matt, Maria, myself, Alicia, Il Molino. It was big personalities. It was big expectations. It was big martinis. It was a big bill. I think we all took out a second mortgage for that dinner. But you just were like amazing, and it was so natural and effortless. And we all walked away going, shit, I hope Tony doesn't mess this up. So clearly he didn't. But what really sealed it for us and for me was Christmas. Your first Christmas. Tony calls you, and on a whim, you come down, and you ingrain yourself in the Granados Christmas, which is it's like learning how to swim in the deep end when you jump off a high dive. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of personalities, it's a lot to get used to. And I remember sitting on the couch, and we were, just like the 8 of us were playing board games. Tony's being less of a jerk than he usually is. And you're in your sweatpants and your sweatshirt, and you're just in it. And at that moment, I said, this is the missing puzzle piece that, like, we knew we were going to find at some point in time. But it was so natural and so effortless, and you were just there, and it felt right. It just fit. Your superpower is the fact that you can connect to people on like this otherworldly level. You make everyone around you feel like $1,000,000. You really do. Okay, and it's not just the fact that we all want to end up in your Instagram posts because there's like 40,000 followers. You really know how to connect with people. And I'm so happy that you're going to be a part of this family. I would also say that you should be happy as well, because what comes with Tony is an unbelievable community. Like, I'm an only child, my family's across the country. To be able to gain 3 brothers, 2 amazing parents, it's a motley crew over there. A very motley crew. But when you get him, you get all of this. They will go to battle for you. They will do anything for you. They are amazing. So you should be happy about that as well. I'm going to close it up. Someone told me it was our 10th anniversary earlier this month, and they said, "Are you going to give any wedding advice?" I'm like, "Do I get to? Have I earned that yet?" I guess I have. 10 years is a long time. I'm old. So what I would tell you is this: the hardest part is finding the right person. You've done that. Okay, so like, coast is clear. From here on out, it's all about, to me, what makes a marriage grow stronger over time are the life experiences you share together. And you've had a lot of them already. You've been married like half a day. And you've already done so much stuff that like most of the people in this room will never do, okay? You jet-setted to Vietnam. You went to see Pearl Jam at Wrigley Field. You, in a week, are gonna be on a safari in South Africa. Like, that's pretty great. Enjoy those. I think my main message is be present in those moments when they happen so you don't forget them. Because that's the best part. There are also a lot of other things that will evolve. The big moments, the milestones, they'll change over time. They won't be as flashy, but they'll be just as special. Like, instead of going to Vietnam, you might just be walking into your new house for the first time up the street. Instead of going to an epic concert, you might be just stepping foot in your office, your new office, here in the Loop. Instead of jet setting somewhere, you might be finding yourself in the maternity ward, which is a pretty special place as well. All right? Those are moments that are just as special. And in between all that stuff, there's like the little things, the things that happen every single day. Like when you're in your sweatpants and sweatshirt and you're laughing uncontrollably for no reason at all in your apartment. You're slow dancing in the kitchen while you're waiting for takeout to arrive. You're opening that bottle of wine after a tough day. It's the first hug after you get home from a work trip, because you're always traveling, the two of you. It's like, we can't keep up with these people. It's unbelievable. But those moments, those little ones in between the big ones, matter just as much. Okay? So that's the thing I want to leave you with. So let's all grab a glass. I have a toast. What I really wanted to do was try to find a Pearl Jam quote, because Tony loves Pearl Jam. But Jesus, that is a depressing band, man. There's nothing there. The cupboard is bare. So we're gonna go with something a little different. This is from Walt Whitman, and it's about the little moments. He says, happiness is not found elsewhere, it's found here. It's not from another hour, it's from this hour. Let's enjoy the big moments. Tony and Taryn, let's enjoy the little moments. Let's have a party tonight. Cheers. Well.